I
Tom
know,
said
but
try again.
okay, you just kept trying.
I was told to try
No,
again.
he just, yeah, after you got in and Dad said try again, I told him to try again.
So,
So
that
it
doesn't really.
was. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, it's just kind of like.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's replicatable.
My favorite kind of issue.
Oops, hold on, that wasn't right. I'm not gonna have my add-ons, I guess. But I'll try to survive without it for now. Check out my overlay, because I don't want that.
Login error. Unable to initialize connection to Steam. Please ensure the game was launched through Steam.
Did you launch it through Steam?
I sure did. I don't have any other way to launch it. I don't have like a shortcut or anything. But let me give it what it wants.
Oh, here we are.
Launch Steam. Updating Steam.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm in. Don't know how, but I am.
Show off. Requesting login.
What about those going? Let's try to find some new docs. No, that's not what I want. You know what? That caught me by surprise. That was a very quick loading screen. I was like, okay, and so for
I have all the time in the world.
yeah, I was like, for the 5 minutes I'm gonna be waiting, I'm gonna check this out, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm in.
You'll get used to it.
I've got the old timey health bars and stuff. Kind of makes me nostalgic a little bit. Because my health bars, my health bars in the top left look different because I use an add-on. It tells me the percentage.
I guess you're the
and
group leader somehow.
a cumulative amount.
You're the group leader. You do invite Mr. Kyle.
The game's a little bit loud for me. So.
Somebody wants to duel me.
Oh yeah, the game's kind of at really high master volume. That might have been why. Okay, I hear a Nurroot. This has nothing to do with my new monitor or performance, but...
Alright, oh
Everything
yeah, I'm
just seems
still in
hypersensitive now. Like,
Apocrypha.
well, you're gonna
Are
want
we
to probably...
supposed to go to you?
You're gonna import to me, I'm gonna add Jared.
Should I go to the Telvanni Peninsula?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
my
do we
way.
go to you?
Yep.
Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Ember out. I did one of her quests, and then like right as I was done with her quest, she gave me the next quest. Like, I don't know how, but so I'm probably on the last bit of her quests. I checked out the new crates, and I got 4 of them. I always get 4 whenever new crates come out.
Oh. So you haven't opened them yet?
No, I've opened them. I got,
Oh.
you know, some body paint. I think I got the Scorpion pet And I got another thing.
Oh.
This guy.
Oh, good.
Oh.
They didn't want
That's right. I got a mount. It's a Duskfall Welwa. I don't know why it's called that, but I like the name. Don't know what it's got to do with the Duskfall, but it's very pretty. And it's a heavyset mount, and I don't care what anyone says, I like heavyset mounts. I like the weight. Stop. Okay, so we're gonna be heading for Gorn, which is literally just right over here.
Oh, guess what? Can you just a second. Guess what?
You
I
have
played
that
on my
station?
main.
I'm so confused about what you do and don't have.
I played
Fine.
so much on my main. I did the whole thing, you know,
Yeah.
on her. So now this one's got to catch up.
It kept my keybinds. That's pretty cool. It kept my, yeah. Well, that's really nice. Like, everything's all set.
Yay!
Okay, so we're going to be talking to Garalo Givin over here and see what kind of quest he's given out.
Fair. I could see. Drab
Wow,
attire,
okay.
sharpened blades, a dangerous
The
glint
quest is
in
to
the
kill
eye.
him.
An adventurer, I take it? I could use someone with your particular skill set. Let's speak for a moment. I promise to make it worth your while. The island of Gorn is home to a reclusive portal mage by the name of Draenus. His research could further my ascension within House Telvanni. I could use a skilled hand to aid me while I procure these findings. Nonsense! Oh, there is something to be said about the sharing of knowledge and the marketplace of ideas, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just say there is a tidy sum to be earned by an adventurer
I can
who
be
can handle a
delicate.
delicate task. Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you. I prepared this boat to take us up to the island. We'll be a bit snug, but it'll do. And do be on guard. I have heard the island isn't the most welcoming of places. Ah, of course. A few too many syllables, I suppose. How about rise instead? Imagine a ladder. As a Telvanni
What is
spellwright,
magically
I must
insane?
prove my skill and expertise each time I wish to go up a proverbial rung. I hope to speed my climb.
Must be pretty low.
He's talking down to me.
At his peak, Draenus was a Telvanni master unmatched in portal magic. It's been ages since he's published any of his research,
Portal
but
magic.
he must
What is
still be
portal
tinkering
magic?
away.
Magic
I'm
laws, if
certain
portals
we
were
can
good.
find a few pages lying about the island. Isn't it obvious? If I publish the findings in my own name, the finest minds on the peninsula will flock to me. Oh, they'll be eager to bask in the genius of Garalo Givin, Portal Master. I can feel their adoration already.
Thief.
Gorn belongs to House Indaril, as you'll see when we reach their sprawling estate. I've heard they formerly used the island to house the mentally unstable and magically insane, but I don't know whether it's still in use. Steel is so vulgar. I much prefer material sourcing. And I'll have you know I did plenty of research. For example, the going rate for capable mercenaries such as yourself.
He bores
A tidy
me.
sum well worth your time and effort. You should know that you're talking
Too
yourself
many
out of my
syllables.
memoir. Imagine the prestige you could gain in Telvanni lands for being the loyal and capable servant to an esteemed
is he just like a-
mage.
Dunmer.
Doesn't know
a
who we
Dunmer?
are. Dunmer.
He's acting like an Altmer, but he's a Dunmer.
Wow.
That's true. He is. You're right.
He's
Stay in your
Telvanni
lane,
people.
buddy.
Stay in your lane.
Fit the stereotype. Life's too complicated.
I can't
time
understand
for
these
this.
variations. Alright, let's go.
Oh, a dungeon.
Public
going-
dungeon. Relax. This. I mean, how many years? How many years?
I know, pup.
You know, I
Just a
still don't
fancy
know anything
gal.
that's going on.
Here we are. Go.
This is what the place looks like.
Wow, Kyle, you're load fast, don't you?
Right.
Charm will make
What are you doing here, Kyle?
Now,
We had another 5
Hold on.
minutes till you got.
Oh, how's
I'm
your
not
connection?
there yet.
my connection, we did some recalibrations, and it seems to
I
be
heard.
fine now. Dad gave me an idea. Hold on.
Oh, have you tried out the flight stick I gave you?
I have not, because I didn't know it was over here. Where is it?
I just put it outside your door.
Oh, oops. I'm in a hurry.
You're not playing ESO with a flight stick?
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't on my mind. So, I do know when I hear like Telvanni Portal Master, I do know that there was a Telvanni Portal Master who helped the famed I say famed and then forget his name. The Morian Zenas teleport around Oblivion, and he was apparently like the master of portals at the time. I don't know if this
Who's
is the
this?
same guy, but he's Telvanni,
Who's
and
this?
he's a master of portals, and I see Daedra
Who's
flying
this?
around, so maybe
Who's Arcane
this is Enforcer. He wants to be our buddy.
Oh,
Where is he?
He's right here.
he's here.
I
He's
don't know
doing all
why
sorts of
he's
impressive stuff. That's how I knew he wasn't
wearing
one of
a
you.
complete face covering. It's kind of creepy.
Oh.
Yeah, there's Daedra everywhere. I mean, this doesn't seem like a coincidence.
Hey,
I wonder if it's
Enforcer!
related.
Hello.
Hello.
is Gorn besieged.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the
We
same
should find
guy.
drinks.
Okay.
Quickly.
I shouldn't have said anything about my internet.
Oh, wait. I just froze too. For a
Yeah, that
second.
was weird. I guess we all suffered.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey."
Yeah, that's the thing is, don't panic if you notice poor performance because you want to check
Hiya.
to see if everyone's having it before you think it's.
I actually panicked first thing. I hear someone
Are
talking.
we supposed to talk to this guy?
What?
Talk
I
to.
don't see
Talk
it.
to who?
Talk to who?
It says talk to Drainus.
We gotta find him.
Oh, you're
He's
right.
Oh.
off in this direction
You're right.
above.
I'm on
I
the
didn't
wrong
have my
quest.
thing pulled up. Yep.
I always hit the wrong button and it goes back to restoring
Oh.
order.
Yeah, there he is. There's the portal guy. Hey, portal man.
What was that?
Oh.
Ah, a dragon.
Yeah, these titans that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So he's over here, though. We have to talk to him.
Oh.
Did you talk to him?
Lead the way. I can't get to it.
I can't reach him. Hold on.
I'm down below.
I don't see anyone. There's no one here.
Visit.
Joe, what's your quest say?
Convince the Nords. I'm on the wrong quest, obviously. but
Okay, get on the right
Go to
quest.
Apocrypha.
Well, yeah, what is it? It does say Apocrypha. That is so weird. Why does it do that?
How do we get up there? I can't get up
just a
there.
second. So J for quest,
Not
right?
up there. I
Hey,
just
no, no.
looked up at the
Yeah, I got it.
Apocrypha. Talk to Drayanus, right?
Yeah,
right?
Drayanus.
That's the active one.
I'm
All right.
listening. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
I need-
You don't have an arrow?
I have an arrow, but there's no one here. You guys are looking at a wall.
Jared, teleport to me. As if you weren't anywhere near me.
I know. That makes sense. What if, I mean, I already teleported to you. I would think that would. We all got in the same boat, right?
So anyway, he's saying that we're welcome
What?
to his notes.
He'll find out.
Find out.
Oh. Did you
It's not like
finally
I can-
find him?
All right. He's still not there for me.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, he just came out of a portal.
Okay, good.
Visitors.
Oh, that's weird.
Why, I was starting to get lonely. Two warring legions of Daedra make for poor company, you know. That worm behind you looks like one of the Givens by the curl of his lip. But you're a fresh face.
Found a way to parkour.
What can I do
Listen.
for you?
Alright, I don't parkour.
Did he now? Well, most Telvanni try to steal from the best. But Gorallo erred in coming to Gorn. Don't you know the nursery rhyme? 2 bantam guas in an aelit's den, each came in 1 piece and left in 10. You'd better turn around now. You're welcome to my notes. They're scattered around. If you want to round them up, look for a glow. A little spell to help in case I needed to find them again. And ever so pretty. But my new friends from the Shivering Isles might not like it. My gift for teleportation magic is just that. A gift. From a Daedra of Sheogorath's realm named Strath. In exchange, I let him and a few legions of his friends come here to revel in the madness of the asylum's insane mages. Oh, Strath's lieutenants likely have my notes. They enjoy the way my thoughts unravel on the page. Perhaps you will, too. But let me give you 2 words of advice. First, what Goralo wants isn't worth the price. And second, flatulence. Not much of a listener, are you? Adorable. Gorn is an asylum for the mentally infirm, if you're a mortal. If you're a Daedra sworn to the Prince of Madness, it's a buffet. An opulent feast ripe for the taking. Feasting, bathing, however you like to think of it. But yes, they slake their appetites with the inmates here. And me, too. Strath saw to that. Not all of them have the best table manners, of course. They're feuding with one another. You know how it is with eternal beings. He stole my prisoner. She gutted my vassal. He's an embodiment of my sovereign's mania. She's an avatar for Sheogorath's dementia. And then the blades come out. Rather tiresome, I must admit. My patron. The little finger of the right hand of Sheogorath, the Prince of Madness himself. All my facility with teleportation magic I owe to Strath. He taught me how to break my brain in all the right ways. Oh no. The research I did in teleportation was all my own. He only set me on the right path, gave me a little trinket to help light the way. But I shouldn't go on about Strath's secrets. If you wish to know more, just read my notes. Oh, Strath's lieutenants likely have my notes. They enjoy the way my thoughts...
Okay, that's
Good luck, by which I mean I hope your deaths are painless. Mostly.
A hunt it is. Adventurer, scour the island for glowing notes. Meet me in the middle of the estate once you have them.
Oh.
Draenus wasn't quite what I'd imagined. He didn't even seem the slightest bit bothered by the veritable Daedric war going on behind him. Regardless, we're here for research, not feuding Daedra. The sooner we find it, the better. A great mage, perhaps even a Telvanni master. Though if you go too long without proving your magical prowess, people start to question whether you still deserve the title. And Draenus has spent a very long time here on Gorn. Perhaps not the first to look, but I intend to be the first to succeed. Once we have that research, we can leave Draenus to his fungal tease.
If like someone was lost,
search the perimeter of the estate. I'll head for the manor house in the middle. We'll meet there.
Because they would try to listen to the dialogue to figure out what was going on, and it's all nonsense.
Are you lost?
We're trying to the portal, but everyone's gone crazy.
Well, then you don't go crazy and we'll be fine. Though if you were crazy, you wouldn't know you're crazy. And if we were crazy, we wouldn't tell you that you were crazy. Look out for bosses. This is a public dungeon. There will be bosses. No idea where they are.
If I had to
obviously.
guess, I think the guy that wants to be revered by handsome Telvanni mages heard that there was a portal master here on this asylum, but it just turned out to be this guy whose patron is
Sheogorath.
works for Sheogorath. Is that the gist
Are
of
we
it?
oh, we're going over here, okay.
There's a dead
So
boss
the notes
here.
will be glowy.
I have secured lodging in a
Yep.
house in Indral Estate on the island of Gorn, and while the island already houses an asylum for maddened wizards, the masters of the house have assured me complete and total privacy as I conduct my research. The irony is not lost on me, but I hope that this will be the change of pace I need. It pains me to admit that I've struggled to follow up the discoveries of my youth. I made quite the name for myself as a young portal master on the forefront of magical research, but now... Nevertheless, I feel like breakthrough is on the horizon. Already, I've reshaped the Manor's Rotunda into a magical focus. By placing arcane foci around the room, I have successfully created a conduit at the island's center. From here, I should be able to delve deeper into my portal magic research than I have before, and with some luck, I'll finally be able to show up the young Draenus, whose shadow I still find myself under.
If you look at the messages, Enforcer said that he found a way to do something.
I didn't get anything. Oh,
Yeah,
found a
yeah.
way to
Travel
parkour to
from
the
this
center
wall,
boss
like-
easily. Well, we don't need to. We don't need to. Slow
Okay,
down.
the boss is back.
But we
boss
probably
is
want to go
back.
faster. Yeah, and where's on his
Oh, he's
argument?
got rotating.
Yeah.
Oh,
love
you
it.
can't. You can't.
Look, I'm
can't
sorry.
hurt him.
I can't see your health as well as I used to. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if this was the boss. I thought the Oberon was the boss.
I used my shields. I couldn't see who got them. It's just not as good as my add-on.
He was spinning around. You couldn't kill it.
Yeah, well, at least I got a soul gem after losing a soul gem.
So we're going back.
It's nice in here.
Too nice.
The burning of books isn't that fantastic though. Ah,
There's just so many books.
Vardenfell vibes.
Definitely.
Vardenfell.
Yeah, because of the architecture. It's Indoril. Just what can you find on the island?
Oh, there's a sky shard around.
Yeah, I see it, but we
I
can't
thought you were
really reach
talking
it
about-
from here.
Valenwood. Oh, I got my V's mixed up.
You got your beat mixed up. It's kind of cozy in here. Hold on. Hold on.
Oops.
I heard someone grunt. I thought
I
you were
hit-
under attack. Where's Dad?
I'm right here.
Wait, 1, 2, then, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you are. Alright, well, great. Hey, well, would you look at that? I got an acorn drop. This was entry 28. Wait, is this the right? Oh yeah, this is the right one. Yeah. Okay. My dear benefactor saw fit to liven up Gorn with a cadre of Daedra, and I dare say he was right to do so. I didn't realize how boring it was being teched away all this time, thumbing through dusty old books. Portal refraction, this dynamic planes walking, that boring. I can't imagine what House Indoril would think if they saw the manner in the state it's in. Well, it's not my problem. Too busy chatting it up with my good friend Prismium. I'll have to remember to ask that dear thing for its name. Seems like only yesterday we shared a pot of tea, and since then, well, I'm not one to brag, but I dare say it has magnified my abilities tenfold. I can portal myself around the island with a flick of my wrist without even breaking a sweat. With every summit crested, I find myself at the base of yet another breakthrough. I may have come here in hopes of publishing, but now I can't imagine ever revealing my precious prism to those stuffy mages. All of its secrets will be mine. Yeah, so he doesn't want to share this. He doesn't want to share this, and we're here to take his stuff.
Alright.
So
We got a hunter.
There's a 2-ticker in
we're
here.
gonna die.
Under.
I at least think our Dunmer is gonna die.
Going in.
Oh, he's a big one!
He's hungry.
I'm gonna do better at keeping track of stuff. Big hungry.
The bigger they are, the harder.
How do we came from here, we want to go this way. But how? Oh. I guess we do this. Yep.
Why'd we get?
We came from the other way.
Oh.
They've got a fountain inside. Yeah, Indra would freak out over this. They'd
Oh,
be
that's
like,
a fountain.
we should tell them. Skyshard is interestingly through this door?
It's you can't go through that door.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Around. Everyone
Yeah, let's go through this way.
Tree.
Look out. Ooh. Oh, I see. So, watch your footing. Watch your footing.
Keep to the right.
That scene for
Oh,
National
watch out for
Treasure
the
still haunts
holes.
me.
Here's something big up ahead.
What a view.
What? No.
Don't fall. Don't fall. Enforcer! Enforcer! He's like coming right over the pit! And he just barely held on. Okay, let's go back the way that we came.
Don't fall through a hole.
Please don't. I don't want to have to go after you. Someone... Enforcer fell, I think. No? No, he's okay. Jared!
So how do you like the new monitor?
Love it. Very HD. And it's like a movie screen.
You should think about switching to a laptop.
That was like,
So you can move around more.
It's like
you know?
Portable
it's like-
computers
it's
are all
like
the rage.
15-inch.
Just as powerful as towers.
Okay, so for this, we're gonna go through here, and then we're gonna go south. I'm guessing those are all the bosses talking. A lot of people are talking. Danger from the Shivering Isles. Don't know when to shut up.
That's crazy, man.
Okay.
You don't want to look around.
He's fine. He's fine.
Everyone's having a good time.
Oh, that guy is in the mushroom wall.
He's part of the wall. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
He's been
There's
here
that
a
mushroom in
while.
there.
Ah!
Oh boy, look at that big statue of Shio. That's cool. Kiag.
That's not what I'm looking at.
Are you looking at the boss?
Yeah.
No big. No big.
Just little baby bosses so far.
We got another. There's 5 of us, so it won't be that hard. But... Whoa!
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Ah, I shouldn't have said
Whoa,
anything.
whoa, whoa,
Shouldn't have said
whoa,
anything.
Where's lava? Come on, come on, come on. Target in range.
Yep. Yeah, I can't see who has my shield and who doesn't.
They're dead anyway.
Cool. I got a deck fragment too.
Yeah, whose idea was it to build a statue of Sheogorath in an asylum?
Who knows when this showed up? This could have been built yesterday, probably.
It takes a long time. Alright, there's 2 things. There's a note, entry 7, and prism study. I feel like we haven't gotten to 6 other notes, but I could be wrong.
Okay. So.
Prism study is a picture.
Oh, pictures.
Alright, so.
Looks like if you hit it right on the side, it explodes.
Hold on,
or turns
hold on.
into fire or something.
I'll read this.
There's a lot going on.
I refuse.
I'm afraid to close it now.
Okay. You can close it. Go ahead and close it.
Yeah, look at him forcing.
This is what he says. I refuse to put his name to. Okay, well hold on. Someone close it and close it for me, but I'll just open it back up. I refuse to put his name to paper, no matter the size of his gift. To include his name in any of my research would certainly condemn the entirety of it to the ramblings of a madman. But still, the prism is as confounding as it is beautiful. My benefactor calls it the prism of moribund sapience. I found no record of it in the personal library, and thus far inquiries into the libraries of Necron have been fruitless, though I dare not press the subject too firmly. I'm trying to determine its structure. I lifted the prism towards the light of the sun. It was then that I saw its true beauty. The prism acts as a filter, a lens through which I can cut away the mundane, recognizable, and reveal the unknown. The viscera and sinews of magic that hold our plane together. I believe this is just a fraction of what the prism offers, but first, tea. I could go for a nice cup of honeyberry tea, or, ooh, peppermint. I want tea. Oh, there's a little guy here. Oh wait, did someone take the prism? Oh, someone took the prism. Oh, the prism study. A sketch detailing a mysterious prism. The drawing itself appears to writhe just beneath the surface of the paper. Oh, that's fun. That should be sealed away, probably. After I study.
Sheogorath always have spectacles.
Sheogorath followers have spectacles? I would
Yeah.
assume a couple.
Did Sheogorath always have spectacles? Look at the statue. It's got the X.
Oh yeah, he does.
Never seen that before.
I think he had some in Daggerfall. I could be wrong about that, but maybe.
You think he's nearsighted or farsighted?
Let's go.
I think
Fury
he's
keeps
a
drawing
nut.
her
If you want my.
weapon.
It's weird. Oh, okay. There's a very tight pathing here.
Oh, we got more guys back here.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess
Cut
adding
the
all this
ribbon.
Shivering Isles stuff means that we might not see the actual Shivering Isles for a while because they'll be like, we just did that.
Yeah, they're
But who knows?
throwing us a bone and
They'll
calling
do it
a
at some point.
skeleton.
They will do it at some point, or I will eat my hat. So. Ooh.
Ah,
Who's this?
there you are. Please tell me your search
How'd
was
you-
successful, adventurer.
How'd you get here without a teleport?
Legs. Ugh.
I hope you found everything I'm looking for. The sooner I can leave this place behind, the better. Excellent. Let's take a look. This can't be right. It's little more than a personal journal. There's barely anything worth publishing. And what's this about a prism? Oh, how interesting. I've got an idea, adventurer. Draenus writes that he turned the Manor's Rotunda into a magical conduit. That would make this room the center of his work with portals. Yet there's no sign of this prism. If he hid it, then it must be important. If I were a master of teleportation, I'd hide my secrets in a place only I could reach. That's it! The magical foci on the balcony above us. If we activate them, we may open a portal to Draenus' little hiding place. Oh, I'm a genius!
I don't want to tell
Activate
me
the
what to do.
foci above us while I conjure a portal. With any luck, we'll reveal all
Beautiful.
of Draenus' little secrets.
Ivy work. Chandeliers. It's quite spectacular.
This whole thing is like screaming karma.
Take note, adventurer. It takes an extremely skilled mage to effectively wield this magic.
Press and hold E, it's not that hard, man.
We've almost got it! Quickly, the last focus is down here! I can't hold on much longer!
I got you, bro.
You'll hold on till I get there.
Elementary.
Time to put this to an end to this. It's past your bedtime. There's one on the ground here.
Everyone
You're
here?
supposed to place it.
Oh,
Place it.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
How did you manage this? It seems I
Let me know when you
underestimated
guys
you.
are ready to
But
go.
I won't allow you to take the prism. I won't.
Don't let him get away! Follow him! I just need
You
to
ready?
catch my breath.
Alright, we're going.
Meet me at the docks once you have
I
his
guess did he
prism.
go to the...
I don't really
Oh.
know if I want.
I didn't see him.
Oh, there's already a fight going on up here.
Yeah, someone's killing the boss. I'm jumping in while I can. Okay, he's dead. Strath.
Let's wait a second so we can have
I just killed him.
the
I'm
fight.
dead.
Oh wow, here's the top of his statue.
That was the quest day in the top right for you.
It's the same.
Follow
Draenus.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we gotta follow. We gotta keep going this way, I guess. Yeah, this statue's. Yeah, he's got a monocle. Oh.
Yeah, it's
and
a
there's
monocle.
another one
The
over
exact
one-
same. Yeah, the exact same head is over here. It's a monocle with like a nose.
Oh, only one lens works.
It's weird.
See that? It's like busted off. That's actually really poetic.
The same statues over here too.
It's
There's
a bust
three-
at all.
Ah,
I've been
Here's
found. Against
compiled
all odds and protections.
Rainia's notes.
Come, we should talk.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of accidentally stumbled.
Do
into
we
this.
search and then talk?
I'm just gonna talk to him.
Let's talk
Oh,
about
Professor.
first.
It seems you've succeeded where all my previous visitors failed. Most of them fled at the sight of the Daedra, but not you. That's impressive. I do? Well, we mustn't waste the opportunity. I beg you, don't give the prism to your mage associate. It warps you, twists you until you can understand what it shows you. I thought it a gift from Sheogorath. But what it revealed... It showed me The sinews of the plains. The strings of magic threading together all existence. Oh, it showed me how to open portals to any corner of reality. But it brought me never-ending unease. Maddening curiosity. I thought I could set it aside whenever I wanted, but the damage is done. I can't return to the way I was before, even if I wanted to. There's not much of me left. Gerallo Given may be a fool, but he doesn't deserve this. Warn him, please.
Should we though?
Yes.
Should we though?
Well, one, we don't want to give him that much power. Forget
Wait,
about
no,
taking pity on
stop.
him.
You have like Willy Wonka. Hey, guys, over here. You want me to read this, or I guess I should.
The
I
prism's
would
over here.
Yeah.
I would close it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot to read, isn't it? I've secured lodging in a house in the royal estate on the island of Gorn, and while the island already houses an asylum for maddened wizards, the masters of the house have assured me complete and total privacy to conduct my research. Let's see. We didn't read this before, did we? No. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, there is one that we've read before, so I'm gonna skip the ones that we have read before. Okay. So let's see here. Irony is not lost on me. I hope that this will be the change of the pace I need. It pains me to admit that I have struggled to follow up the discoveries of my youth. I made quite a name for myself as a young portal master on the forefront of magical research, but now... Okay, now I think I've read this one, haven't I? Yes, that was the first one that we read. It's been weeks and I have nothing to show for it, blast it all. It doesn't help that I keep returning to the publications from my youth and lose entire evenings to drunken arguments with the confident dryness I find in these pages, a confidence I wish I still had. I've since turned the Rotunda to explore beyond our plane. Portal magics between the planes is still very much in its infancy. If I can make a discovery in this field, this will surely pave the way for a century of academic leisure. It seems, this is entry 5, it seems someone has taken notice of my magical prodding. This morning I awoke to find a note left in the Rotunda. It read simply, "Care for some tea?" I was visited today by the Prince of Madness himself. I still hear his laugh. How he mocked my strange research efforts. I was ready to push him through his own portal when he offered me something, a gift, a prism. I refused to, oh wait, okay, so this is where he says I refuse to put his name to paper, so this is entry 7, where he says that he wants tea. Entry 10. Already the prism has dwarfed the discoveries I made in my youth, my understandings of planes, of their relationships to each other, and how they bend with the flow of magic. I'm disgusted by it all, to know that I could only come to this understanding with the guidance of a madman. It feels as though I've cheated. I haven't earned this knowledge, and yet I desperately want to continue, even as I write this. My other hand has already drifted to the prism, a pretty little thing. Entry 16. I can still hear his laughter, like a song stuck in my head. I hum it as I fall asleep. Entry 21. I walked today along the shores of Gorn. Well, walked isn't quite the word. I portaled myself along it. I came out to enjoy the sunset, but found its colors to be duller than I remembered. A sad thing. I think it's a sad thing. I don't know. I think this might be a typo. Muddy orange, dull brown. I stood there and watched. I watched as the colors faded with the light. Since the prism has clouded my eyes, I have not considered the way it might affect light it distorts. And to think I spent this long shining its rays directly into my eyes. Perhaps there is another beauty to the world it is trying to reveal to me. Just one more look. This is probably why he's blind. I mean, it looks like he's blind. And this is entry 28, which was the last one that we read. And oh, Jared's going mad, I see.
It's just a bunch of going to places and pressing E and then a bunch of words in between. Mostly the words.
Yeah, there's a lot of words.
You could have done 7 quests.
What do you want to do the quest for? EXP, you don't care about 512?
Did somebody already get the prism, I guess? Somebody took it?
Someone must have. Who took the prism after I literally spent like 12 minutes talking about how bad the prism was?
Enforcer's jumping up and down.
It was Enforcer. He's gone crazy. Alright, well, let's get out of here then. Okay, so we need to leave this place. So let's take this. This might lead us out.
Tell him we didn't find anything.
Oh boy. Yeah, I might have made a wrong turn. I might have...
Kaiju.
Jared, put the sword away.
What?
It's just
I'm
immediately...
not walking through that without a sword.
Okay. I don't...
Quest marker's on the other side.
Yeah, I just don't know if we can...
What, you want to go read some more
It's
stuff?
on the other side of the gate, though.
I don't know if we can go through here, but fine, go ahead.
What did he say? I'm not on the quest.
Oh, he's not on the quest, so he didn't do it. I don't know. Maybe I accidentally. I don't remember picking
Likely
anything
story.
up. I mean, you were reading. I just closed it. Did that mean I took something?
We have another Tango inbound.
Oh, I don't know.
Mary
A
said
lot
that
of Titans.
got their adventure.
We just have to kill this big one.
Oh, wow, that looked like it hurt.
Ow.
Clan Fear! Oh, hey, those doorways do work. Yeah, let's use those.
Another boss.
Alright, you get Dea.
They may just keep coming, you know, endlessly.
No, I can do this all day.
Laser EXP.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah, you always wait until the very end. Oh, wait. Ah, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more, there's more,
Darn.
there's more, there's more.
My inventory's full. Wormwolf.
Yeah. Gorn. You good?
Yeah, I need
Yeah, they just keep coming.
pheasant. Well, I imagine we're gonna run out of them.
I'd assume this is a group event. So, that's good.
We're a group.
And there sure is an event. Enforcer just went down in like 1 hit, I think. Like,
Come on. Stop the fire tornado.
oh yeah, see, we got a skill point. That was definitely the group event. Hooray!
Alright, I need a Fez, please.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Or do you want Fez now?
I need Fez to loot. I need
Okay,
Fez.
fine. What
It's
the-
not like these things are gonna respawn.
They're...
Come on, Fez.
Them dragons are flying around. They gonna come back?
They're not really
Conspicuous prism of
dragons.
undetermined value. A sinister energy moves
Oh,
within the
there's a
prism
door.
in an amorphous manner. Tell me when you're ready.
Alright. Yeah, a bunch of the stuff I was gonna loot already despawned. Let's get out of here.
Mom, are you using Fez?
I'm fine. No.
Alright, we gotta go.
There's an exit over here.
I'm gonna follow Kyle.
That's what I doing too.
Oh. Is this
Please
the
tell
way
me I
out?
can use this. Ah, yeah. I was thinking, oh, is this gonna be like supposed to drive players mad? I get it, it's thematic.
I don't. They always
Supposed
make
to go
things
through
too
this
easy.
little.
Just, yeah, you can hop over. There you go.
You guys are so adventurous.
Just follow you over.
Okay, good job.
Over here, adventurer. Let's
We're
chat.
supposed to talk to him. I guess he's.
Are we gonna get a choice here?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, let's not give
where
it.
did that fool's portal take you? Did you recover that prism Draenus wrote about? Or at least some more of his research? I'd hate to leave this smoldering heap empty-handed.
Oh, I have to tell him I have the prism.
Remarkable. Even at a glance, I can see these are more comprehensive than the scribbles you found strewn about the island. Oh, it's a pity Draenus became so confused. There's a shadow of his genius in these pages. What of the prism? Oh my! I hadn't dared to hope, but it seems this prism is a Daedric artifact, and a powerful one at that. This prism could accelerate my studies beyond imagining. Oh, I can't imagine
I'm gonna say
Draenus
you
was
warned me
happy
not
about
to
parting
give
with
it to
it.
So what? Are we all on the same page? What's going on?
I'm gonna warn him. I mean, if anything, I don't want him to have it because he'll have the power to just teleport it.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't think anyone should have this. I think that I should eat it or something.
So the first one, we warn him.
Yes.
He'll probably say, I don't care, give it to me
owner.
anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Was this the cause of Draenus's deterioration? I suppose his research notes alone will
He doesn't
serve
want to
for
be deteriorated.
publication. It might be
Coward.
rash to expose a mind as important as mine to the prism's affliction. I've spent years hoping for the chance to study an artifact such as this. Now, I'm not so sure. I certainly can't leave the prism here. Someone else might claim it, and my place in House Telvanni. So perhaps I lock it away, or destroy it? On further consideration, I find Draenus' notes are more than enough.
Wait, we get
Even his margin scribbles have valuable insights about portal creation and transplanar travel. Here, your payment. And I'll even mention your name in a footnote.
No, it's a replica. Okay, because I don't want to go crazy.
So we get the prism.
We get a replica of the prism, because otherwise we go nuts.
The journey
More
towards
else.
my
Says we
ascension
get-
was
we get
made
the
a
prism.
little easier today.
Description.
Despite
It
the
says a
hordes
replica
of
if you
Daedra
highlight
and
Everything's
the
always a
smell of
replica.
really?
fungus, I'd say this went remarkably well.
I say I deserve more money from this guy.
Interested, are we? Of course you are. No one can spend an hour in my company and come away without an appreciation for my intellect. Well, I'm awash with brilliant ideas. It may have pointed me in the right direction. I hope to present my findings to representatives of House Telvanni back in Necrom. They'll be eating out of my hands. I'll have to choose between all the offers and titles. If they ask, I'll simply say, but of course, my Magister. If that old loon got results, then so can I. Soon enough, you'll hear my name from lips of strangers. I'll be remembered every time a portal is opened.
Never heard of this guy.
Tempting though it may be to keep it, I suppose I should just toss this wretched prism into the sea.
Oh,
What the? Oh! That treasure is not to be wasted on a mortal like you!
So what? The Daedra
Yeah.
came and took it?
dead.
He just decks him.
Pretty sure he's
Oh
dead.
my.
Yeah, he's gone.
Is he out?
I mean, like his soul has left his body.
Nah, he's moving. But his eyes are open, but he's moving.
Yeah, he's breathing. You can see
Ah.
his chest.
He got punched in the face by.
I mean, I could fix it. Yeah.
Why
so
wouldn't
so they
the
just
Daedra
took
kill
it
him?
back.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he said it shouldn't be wasted on the likes of him.
Well,
That was probably the
yeah,
original.
He got
Step
his
in the water.
comeuppance.
That was probably the original Daedra that gave it to the other
Maybe.
mage.
oh,
Not his-
okay, okay.
the guy he-
Maybe this thing. Yeah, this thing's. Yeah, maybe don't use this thing.
Very realistic replica.
Yeah, I think this might have been the real thing. Turned my hand to like ink for a second. Let's go before anyone finds out. Like everyone thinks that we knocked him out. Just gotta leave him there. On an island with swarms of Daedra. Yeah, okay.
It'll be fine.
He'll be okay.
Not his babysitter.
Yeah, I got my money.
And a party favor.
Yeah. I've got some.
Hey,
I'm only
here's a
missing
chest.
one deck fragment.
With advanced. Step right up.
Yeah.
Try your hand.
Dad, do you have it?
Yeah. No, I don't. Not yet.
Alright, it's 11:02.
Thanks for helping us, Enforcer.
Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you.
We would have all died.
No, you can't take the roll.
I don't have my library search. That's right. Dang it.
I'm gonna run to the way shrine. See ya.
What kind of scorpion is this?
That is my chromatic, I think it's scorpion.
Interesting.
I just got him in my crate. Let me see.
Are they from the Telvanni Peninsula?
Chromatic scorpion. In quotes, it says, "Nightmares of scorpions, so many colors, but the dream sea blue one, tipped with angry eyes red, stepped forth. I woke to see this wondrous creature, a gift from Vermina. My partner says they live inside a Kalam, but how did one get to Wayrest?
Good question.
Its name is Angry Dreams by default."
I mean, you say by default, but is there any actual way to change pet names?
Yeah, you can rename it.
You can just type in a name?
Yeah, but like it's not like anyone will see it when I look at you. Though. They'll look at the pet because
That would be why I never noticed.
otherwise they would need to like monitor everyone's pet name.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Was that it then?
Yep. We did it.
We did it. We did it. Hooray.
We succeeded! Hooray!
Hooray!
And we somehow succeeded getting into the game, which was much harder.
Yes.
Way
the hardest
harder.
part of the evening.
It's like it's
We
like
gotta figure that
who else
out
has this
so we don't
issue? Nobody.
Go
No
through
one.
that every time is horrible.
I'm sure others have issues.
Can't find anyone. You know, it's
You probably, did you post about this on a forum? Then no one's gonna find out that you had this
What?
problem.
I posted on Twitter. Everyone's looking at my tweets, and no one's like, "Nah, I know what this is."
Everyone's
Everyone.
looking at your tweets.
Mhm.
Okay. Alright. See you tomorrow.
If you
Bye.
say so.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Night.
Okay, yep, I'm getting off, so had a good time.
Same.
See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Enjoy your computer.
I am.
Had fun.
Same.
See
Bye.
you. Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye. There's someone trying to schedule a trial with me, but it's like, there's a new trial here that
It's a jury summons. I got
Try
someone
to-
trying to schedule a trial with me,
just
but I'm like,
eh.
eh.
I'm wondering if I should like move my camera to my second monitor instead of my primary, even though like I have a mess in my room right now, like a horrible mess. But just seems to look better for right now. There's a new trial that I've never seen and never been in there. That's way down south. I've only done one public dungeon here. In the entire main quest.
Wow.
Which took probably like 9 hours. Take this.
That's
Yeah, so here's my mount.
yeah. It's a big
Big heavy Wawa.
yeah.
Crown Crate gifting is still broken. It doesn't sound like they're gonna fix it anytime soon.
You there! You look like a capable.
Because
I need some
there's
help.
apparently an
Can we
issue
talk?
where, you know, they want to solve an issue where people are like buying crates by converting their like where they buy them to a different server where their money has more value. If that makes sense.
Yep. No, that sounds like a scam to me.
Yeah. So they're like, you know, it's like okay, so this currency is more if you swap servers essentially. So I think they're trying to solve that, and then they're also trying to solve. I think a glitch that allows you to duplicate crates or whatever, which is obviously a huge problem. They do not want this at all. So, and they still can't fix it. They said upon fixing the first issue, they happened to find more. They were like, okay, well now we can't exactly make you do this again. So, that's probably going to be broken until they somehow find a workaround, and that sucks because, you know, I give out crates all the time. So it's like, why am I bothering to hold on to my crowns if, you know, I can't gift them anytime soon? There's a lot of people this way shrine. We went to that mine down there. We saw some bats yesterday.
That sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm. I took pictures of the bats. They're all hanging from the ceiling.
Is that all that was in the mine?
There were some dead people. Some of them were people that I made dead.
I really like having a trackpad attached to my keyboard.
Are you using your trackpad to play?
A little bit. I was just testing it out. You know, I got those numbers above it. Did I show you a picture of like all the keys set up with the back? What's it called?
I think you showed it to me all set up.
Custom icons. Let's see. Yeah, I showed you the custom icons. You can see them above the map. Like I set those. The one that does Steam and Discord and Chrome. Like those pictures are just little transparencies that I put in the box, and I programmed it so that when I hit that button, it opens that program. Like Task Manager is that last one. And I get to set the picture on the trackpad, so I did my little Star Wars map. About the only downside is that the keyboard is so old, you know, from like Windows 7 and Windows 8, that the other apps for the keyboard, like YouTube and web browser, don't work. Like, so I can't go to the internet and play videos on it, which was one of the things advertised you can do. I can play videos from my computer on it if I save a video, or any music I have on my computer. I can just open a media player and like scroll through a playlist on the touchscreen and then start playing music without ever having to leave the game. So that's nice. It's got a clock, so like I had that going. I could just kind of sit back and then glance down at my keyboard to see what time it is.
I have to admit, I've never seen a keyboard with a clock on it. Because usually it's on the screen that the
not
keyboard
when you're playing
is
a game,
attached to.
though. When you're playing a game, there's no clock on the screen.
Well, not entirely true. ESO has a clock.
So, well, okay, but there's also in the clock section there's a timer for speed run. So you tap a button real quick, and then it starts a timer for your.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And then I press another button, and it turns that whole touchscreen into my numpad. So even though the keyboard does not have numpad buttons on it, the touchpad becomes a numpad. I just got it because it's a Star Wars keyboard with Aramesh on it. But the whole extra screen feature is very interesting, and I'm surprised this was a thing 12 years ago and never again.
Does the company make other versions of that?
They did. There was, I mean, the Old Republic one was the most popular one, but I think they made one or two more standard versions. They had a laptop with it built in, but having these custom shortcuts where I can just click a button and it'll open up, Chrome or Discord, a little custom light up graphic underneath. That's, you think that would have become commonplace. It's like having a Stream Deck just attached to your keyboard.
I need to figure out how to tilt my monitor down. I can't seem to make sense of it. The guy in the video just kind of grabbed it and tilted it. Oops. And I was I can't.
Are you saying tilt it down or move it down?
Tilt it down.
Yeah.
It's angled a little bit upwards, and so I would prefer it being a little bit facing me more. And they said that you could do it, and it's got a weird hinge on it with looks like a bolt or something. But I can't seem to make sense of it. I get scared trying to move it by myself.
I can take a look at it tomorrow.
It is a Acer Fire Legend 27-inch.
Let me see. Acer
Fire Legend 27-inch. Yep. It should say 27HC5R, I believe it is.
I've got it. Yeah. Okay, so this isn't a widescreen like mine is. It's not ultra wide like mine is.
It looks pretty ultra wide to me, though.
No. But the format is still 1920 by 1080.
I think so.
Yeah. My monitor is 3,440 by 1,440. So a bit more than that. I'm not actually sure the size of my monitor. I want to say maybe it's 34-inch.
All those prisoners in White Rose driven mad. Sometimes you have to weigh the odds.
Dell U34.
And then blacksmithing.
3, 1, 4, 5. There it is. Yeah, mine's a 34-inch, which
Nice.
means it's here. I'll show you.
I don't honestly know if I have room for that, but
Yeah, no. The thing is also it's probably just as tall as your monitor. It's just wider, so that there's it takes up a lot of desk space, and you have to be playing games where that much screen real estate really pays off. And I'm not sure stuff like ESO is.
I went from 15-inch to 27.
27 inch, yeah. Also, the bigger the monitor, it's more expensive too. I think I paid like $600 for this, and it looks like there's 200, 500.
Yeah, I paid 140 for this.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good for the price then.
Oh, nice. I got an enchanting root. That'll help.
Good, good. Sure.
Rogero. Deteri. Rekuta.
Oh good, it added it at the beginning.
Gotta turn this in.
Kayla? Oh, you're drawn. Oh, I was just gonna ask if you could share your trip album with me so I can add the pics to the shared album.
Let's see. I wonder how well this can run if I have Chrome open. Let's open Chrome and open my Screen Manager. And it says you're live. Like, whoa, wait, what? I had a Shivering Isles related lore fact just so happened that we were doing a Shivering Isles related class. Complete coincidence.
None of us is...
Blah. Man, I have a lot of these. This is monastery. I don't think this is monastery. Oh, I've never used
Seeing what monastery you see on
Oh, oh, never mind. I found it. That doesn't help at all, though. Treasure hunting. Yeah, all my assets for my stream are missing. Obviously, like I need to get my banner or my border set up.
This is one pain with getting a new computer is.
Yeah. I don't have anything behind me, so I look like...
You're gonna have to set up all your mod arrangements.
Oh yeah, it's... I didn't have that many. But... But, you know, I'm able to do things that I couldn't even imagine doing with my laptop, really. You know, like
streaming and playing a game at the same time.
Like streaming and having Chrome open, maybe. It's like, okay. Like, I can have Chrome open while I'm streaming and playing a game.
Yeah, that's something that everyone else has been doing.
Because it just eats up so much RAM, right? So, like, if I don't have that much...
Well, yeah, I mean, sure, it eats up so much RAM if you're playing on a tiny little computer. I, for instance, I had Chrome open the whole time we were playing ESO, and I didn't even think about it. Like, I just forgot I had left Chrome open.
Yeah, I would definitely notice. So what I would need to do is I need to download music mixes and play those. And so, it's like running Media Player doesn't matter as much as running YouTube and Chrome. Whoa, hey! Sprig's trying to assassinate me. Sprig is trying to assassinate me. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong one. I wanted... Cliffside Nook. That is such a massive distance. Like, what? This treasure map is just like describing where it is in words, and it's just like such a mass. It's like, it's somewhere between Maine and Colorado. Basically, it's like, come on, like, what? How am I supposed to find this? It's so vague. Oh my god, I found it. What the heck? Needle in a haystack. Alright. Nice. In the cleft between two great stones, shipwreck debris. South of Seaside Sanctuary Docks. What's the end route? Okay, so two great stones on the shore between shipwreck debris, South Seaside Docks. That's I actually forgot what this one was for. Green shade? Yes. Of course, this is where seaside is. Seaside by the seashore. Let's see how long this loading screen is. With Chrome open. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 freaking seconds. I hope I can read all the loading screen dialogue in this time. The text. South of docks, west of Underroot. Underroot, south of docks, west of Underroot. Two great stones. Shipwreck. see a shipwreck. Yet. Some stones. I thought I could play Minecraft with this computer. I don't see any shipwrecks. Oh. They're behind me. Okay. We're behind shipwreck debris. Between two great stones. There we are. Gotcha. Congratulations, other person, you also found it. I had the same jewelry survey in Western Skyrim 6 times. Why? Southeast of Chisel Shriek, north of Hold. So let me press that button. Hey, chess.
Alright, I just finished putting together every picture that both Michaela and I took on the trip.
Every
picture. 1,882. And that includes videos which are like 30 minutes long.
30-minute long videos.
I wanted to take as much like seamless documentation as possible for, you know, people that aren't able to go like you. So like if there was something going on,
Defunctland is going to be paying you for all that footage. I hope you know that.
I honestly don't think you could make a Defunctland about this thing. I think anyone making any sort of comment like that about this is not like, yeah, it's not the sort of thing where you can deconstruct it as a like a ride.
Who knows? I mean, like, they're like, yeah, it's obviously more expensive than what they thought it would be. Or at least it's not bringing in as much money as they thought.
Honestly, no one knows. I talked to some cast members. I mean, not
Really?
cast members in the experience, obviously.
No.
Yeah, in our resort. Disney All-Star Movies Resort was talking about it. Obviously, they don't have a clue what's going on, but they gave some possible hopes of what they hope might happen to it in the future. More optimistic than just tearing the whole thing down and writing it off. But we'll see. I mean, there are people working there that have never gotten to do it. Like, we were talking to a girl in the gift shop, and she's like, yeah, I could never afford to go there. But yeah, having done it, I don't know. Defunctland would have to make a whole series on it, I guess, is the only way I could see him appropriately. Because the whole thing is, it'd be like if Westworld closed. Like, how would you do a video on, like, the ins and outs of everything? He would just have to cover, like, how it was built, and then what happened to it. He couldn't, like, he couldn't accurately cover what the full experience was, I don't think, without...
What if he'd been there? Especially
not... Well, if he hasn't been there, he definitely can't. Unless he gets a bunch of sources from other people that have been there. But it's not like his previous stuff he's done, where... Because, like, with a ride, it's like, you get on the ride, there's, like, a queue. The ride is the same for everyone each time, you know? So you can say what happens on the ride, right? You're like, the ride took passengers through blah, 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 blah. You can't do that with this.
Here it is. Lag all of a sudden. Pretty strong. I need to kill humans.
I'm not doing anything.
Well, it's spiking. Pretty bad all of a sudden. I got nerve crush from that. Everything here is not humanoid.
Where are you?
Cragwarren. There's a lot of BCs. Well, I should find a light here. Oh my god, that is a lot. Okay. Hi, Integers.
Also, if you go to the albums, you're going to see a lot of screenshots of the datapad app, basically because anytime there was a story point or a new piece of information, I took a screenshot because the app goes away once you leave the Star Cruiser.
Oh, it just deletes itself?
Well, you don't have access to it. The app only becomes fully active when it detects that you're experiencing the Star Cruiser.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, if I don't take pictures of these, I'm not going to be able to look back on them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. But it gives you context of like...
The lack of interaction was, I was like, did they die then?
What?
No. Because you totally...
Fully immersive.
You just went dark for like days. Oh, okay.
We were in another universe. Did not have an active connection.
I was expecting you to be sending me so many videos and stuff. I was like, I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to stay away from my phone, just to not break immersion. But at the same time, I also didn't tell people like we're not gonna be texting. So I kind of just saved sending stuff until we could do a big dump at the end.
People...
What I'm working on now, just making sure that I'm removing any blurry photos and stuff, so it's just as seamless.
Do people like? Did you come back to text with people being like, "Hello"?
Yeah, I saw Mom had a couple times been like, "You all right?" And then she pretty quickly caught on that I had put "Do Not Disturb" on my phone.
She told me that you were probably just doing it for the immersion.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard other people do that. They said, you know, if you have a job where you're always being texted or called, just put your phone on Do Not Disturb because, you know, you want it to be, you don't want something like that like punctuating your experience. You don't want to be like checking your phone for texts and stuff while you're in the middle of doing Star Wars stuff. It would pull you out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say that successfully, it was pretty much nonstop. There are some things, obviously, like there's going to be exit signs in the ship for people's safety and fire extinguishers. Other than that, you know, there's no like hidden Mickeys anywhere. It's like everything you're looking at is 100% like movie set Star Wars stuff. The other passengers, you know, if there weren't passengers dressed in costume, that weirdly enough doesn't break the immersion because since the whole thing's lore is that you're on a cruise, like there's going to be passengers on a cruise just wearing whatever they want to wear. You know, it's having a bunch of people wearing different clothes is not uncanon friendly.
It's just people from Earth.
Yeah. I do think the word Earth was only said once, as someone at dinner was asked where they were from, and they said Earth or Terra or something, and a guy just went, sounds habitable.
It sounds like people exist there. I could definitely hear that from like some like middle-aged like dude just like, I'm from Earth.
Oh my god, there was one rich family where the mom was not catching that everyone was in character.
That always happens at like Renaissance fairs and stuff. It's just
she's trying to talk to them like, oh, you know, we just come down, and like the crew member's not missing a beat, you know, obviously they're not breaking, but I was like, this lady has no idea what she just signed up for. She's like, I just, you know, this family's just rich and just doing it for the kids. And it's like, lady, we did the Star Wars hotel.
Lady, can't you see that we're all nerds? Can't you see?
But no, the amount of people that were like committed like 1000% to it was a healthy amount. And absolutely no one there like trying to ruin things by being a jerk or trying to get people to break character. There was no heckling.
Ignore the messiness of my room. I'm still in the process of moving things around, but check it.
Oh, and someone got married there, or they got engaged there. I showed Mom the pictures, but I forgot to show you. Wraith Cole, one of the Gaia's her manager for her tours, was just going around, and he just grabs me by the shoulders and starts instructing me. He's like, I want you to like go around the ship and like try to get everybody into this one spot. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna question.
You had a side quest?
Yeah, it was just, you know, it seemed important. I knew he was like with the Scoundrels faction, and I was like, okay, maybe he's trying to set up something to like give cover for, you know, something he's trying to.
What if you don't do it? What if you say no?
I told him I'm good at doing what I'm told, and so I just
good at doing what I'm told.
What's so cool is that if you look up the if you go to Wikipedia and you look up this guy, like it's like I can see his picture and it's like that's the same guy, like that's the guy that like I was talking to, and he has a Wikipedia page. But yeah, we gathered everybody in the atrium in a central spot, and then a guy proposed to his girlfriend there.
Sweet.
And then it also turned out that it actually was part of a Scoundrel thing, because while he was doing that, Wraith was behind the guest services counter trying to access everyone's financial information.
Wait, not good. Not good.
Well, he was hiding the ring in a they were giving out like little snacks and cups at the guest service counter, and so Wraith offered to help hide the ring for this guy. But while Wraith was back there, even while the proposal was going on, he was still behind the guest service counter, trying to access where the Starliner keeps all the guest financial information. But the whole proposal, like, the guy was in on it. The guy that was proposing, the groom-to-be, assisted knowingly that, you know, it was kind of like, hey, Wraith will help me set up this proposal, and I'll help him provide cover for him sneaking behind the counter. Because while everyone's paying attention to this proposal, they won't be paying much attention behind the counter, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a distraction.
Yeah, the captain did catch him out on it, though, because he's like, she was at a confrontation in the atrium later. She's like, if you were hiding the ring for the groom, why were you still back there while he was proposing with the ring that you had hidden?
Did he have an excuse?
I think I got that exchange on video. She had him turn on his pockets. It was a super long run out thing because he had so many pockets. But yeah, he was like wanting her to search his back pockets at the very end. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, a tour of Wraith's pockets. But no, he did not have anything on his pockets. I'm not quite sure what came of that later, just because we had caught that in passing. Yeah, no, that's what I was telling him. He was behind guest services trying to access guest financial information. I think he probably had a data card with financial information, he just didn't...
He's like legit taking people's credit cards.
it's for the immersion. We wiped your bank clean.
It's like, whoa!
But yeah, I noticed that he had electro tattoos on his arm, the same kind of tattoos that Dr. Aphra has, that kind of look like circuit board and you can store information on them. And I noticed he had a purple diamond necklace on his neck, and I looked up his Wikipedia page, and apparently it's some significance to Twilight culture because he was raised on Ryloth, even though he's a human. And it's purple to honor Mace Windu for liberating Ryloth during the Clone Wars.
Sweet.
Which I thought was cool.
I wonder if that was Mace's favorite color. Can you imagine how many Jedi, like, pump their fists when they got, like, their favorite color as a lightsaber? I mean, like, if your color's green.
They avoid attachments. Would they want to attach themselves to a favorite color?
They can't even have, like, what, favorite foods? Does that count?
You can't attach yourself to any.
You can't have favorite locations? Does that still count?
No.
No, so it's only people.
You have to like everything equally.
So I rewatch. I was re-listening to a recent Star Wars Explained podcast because I just kind of listen to Spotify a lot, and they've got those on Spotify. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one recently, and I know I've heard it before because it sounded familiar. But at some point, the World Between Worlds came up, and it came up during a topic about time travel.
Oh no!
And his response to the World Between Worlds being implied to work as time travel is the exact same as whenever people toss out Dragon Breaks as an excuse in like others. I could hear myself in his tone. I'm just like, that's not how it works. I don't want to get into this. That's exactly how I feel. I'm just kind of like, I don't think you understand what a Dragon Break is. I don't want to get into this right now.
No one understands it.
What?
No one understands it.
No one's going to understand. It's like,
Oh yeah, the pictures I sent was the proposal. It was very hype.
It was very hype.
That little girl on the bottom left is I forget if I told you, little 9-year-old girl that was running the whole ship the whole time.
She was running the ship?
Basically, she would just run up to characters no matter what, and just like take charge of the entire conversation. We even found her mom on the voyage. Each voyage has just a separate Facebook group so that you can find other passengers and keep in touch. And her mom was posting before the voyage a picture of her, like, if you see a feisty 9-year-old girl running around the voyage, that one's ours. And sure enough, she was very easy to pick out. She was like going up to all the characters, like super charismatic, and like, yeah, we were doing we were preparing to go into the lightsaber training pod with Asaja, which is a Force sect that is on the ship that study Jedi ways. And as we're waiting there, she just runs down and she starts like instructing our Asaja to do something, and he's just like, "Where are your parents?" She's like, "They're up on deck 4, and they know I'm here." And he's like, "You need to go back to your parents, get out of here." and she's like, "No, you need to do this," and like it's instructing him, and like you can tell he's slowly realizing he's losing control of the situation, and like trying, like he was a super charismatic guy, like super just like in charge, and like by the end of it, like he's just like struggling, and eventually just gets her to go away, and then like just like leans up against the wall, grabs his chest, he's, "What just happened?" And the whole time we were in lightsaber training, and we would he'd be instructing us, and eventually he would just kind of pause and look at his hands and just kind of shakily go like, "That girl's still in my head."
she knew what she was. You should have just let her take charge. She knew what she was doing.
The whole time, and like she would run up to the lieutenant that was on board and like start bossing him around, and it was I got a picture of it where she was just lying down on a bench, and he just kind of walks over and just goes like, "May I sit here?" And they just sit down, and we have no idea what happened, but they just sat and talked for like 30 minutes together.
Yeah. There's a lot of decks. Is it up and down? Like, are there elevators? Or
yeah, there are elevators. So primarily, most of the decks are cabins, and there's a ton of decks that are crew only that you can't go to, like where they have the trash compactor and crew quarters and stuff.
Oh, okay, I see.
You don't go to those decks, yeah. So really, there's a main deck, and then a second deck that has the Crown of Corellia dining room, and lightsaber training, transport pods down to the 2, and some other decks that are just rows of cabins and stuff. But yeah, there was another little boy, I think his name was Jamie, who was like a little rat for the First Order. So he would if he'd find things that were going on, like with resistance movements or people trying to do things against the First Order, and he'd kind of just like sneak in there as a little kid behind people, overhear what's going on, and then run away and going like, Lieutenant, they're doing this. And Lieutenant would be like, Jamie.
He's a dauber.
Yeah, he'd be like, Jamie, come here. Jamie, what are they doing? And he'd like send Jamie out as a little spy. And at the very end, during the finale, the First Order officer was giving a speech about all the passengers whose allegiance aligned with the First Order and who had helped him and all these things. And he's calling them out by name and being like, you did this and this. And at the very end, like everyone knew Jamie because like he was always running around tattling on people. And at the end, the lieutenant just goes, "And little Jamie," like everyone he just pauses for everyone to just burst into laughter, and he goes, "I would love to recount all the ways you've helped us with such accurate information, but we haven't the time."
This is your 80th cruise.
It was so great. Yeah, the Lieutenant Croy was one of the best characters. The whole thing was that the First Order docked with our ship because they had noticed through manifests of the ship that everywhere that the Halcyon had made port, resistance movements were either growing or being started. And so the First Order started to suspect that the Halcyon was supplying the resistance, covertly. And they just wanted to dock and kind of inspect things and kind of suss out what exactly was going on and why the Halcyon was connected to resistance movements. So the lieutenant boards with stormtroopers, and his whole thing is basically just like, you all continue doing your pleasure cruise as usual, just I'm going to join you and like kind of just mingle around and, while we keep an eye on things. And so you're basically just having a pleasure cruise with a military presence there where you're just kind of nervously like, it's if you don't have anything to worry about, you don't have anything to worry about. But it just kind of adds this extra air of like, oh yeah, the First Order is also on board. But like he would,
they all feel very threatening. Like you're actually like, because I mean, to be honest, I'm more scared of the First Order than I am the Empire. They just seem more threatening to me. So like being around.
He was very kind to everyone on board. He's like, if you're an innocent person just here on a pleasure cruise, he'd go up to people and chat with them. There was funny conversations with him trying to talk to the droid on board, and then also Uani, the Rhodian, and he's like, I don't speak Huttese. I don't know what you're saying. Does anyone here have a translator? And like one of the other guys on board was like, she understands you. Yeah, Sanjo, one of the other guys, who I thought was another passenger. There was a Miri Allen on board, and I thought it was a passenger who was just like really in character and like was going as a Miri Allen. And I'm just chatting with him, about himself and everything. Like he was a huge fan of Gaia, looking forward to seeing her perform because normally she doesn't do small venues like this. She only does like huge. She's used to performing to huge stadiums, so it was a big deal that she was performing for the Halcyon. And then like later he starts doing like he's like in story elements, and I'm like, oh my god, that wasn't a passenger. Like that was like an actual guy. But yeah, Sanjo was making fun of the First Order officer who was next to me. He's like, doesn't he know she understands him? Like just because she's speaking Huttese doesn't mean that she can't understand Basic. And yeah, everyone like everything was super on the ball. Like I was spelling my name out for someone, like for some technical reason. And like they're just like, oh, hi Galactic, like because I was like, it's D.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're like, oh, hi Galactic, and I'm like, yeah, hi Galactic.
And you're like, no, that's not my name. My name's Drake.
Well, it's like I wasn't using the Arabesh namings for the letters, which they did do. Like we were in Group B, and they called it Group Besh, and there was Group C, Group Kresh, kind of like the points in Battlefront 2. Yeah, there was moments where like I used lore knowledge. Like there was one of the crew members was from Nar Shaddaa, and she asked if anyone knew where Nar Shaddaa was, and like nobody answered. And I'm just like, yeah,
in space. It's
I was like, I was like, yeah, it's in Hutt space. It's a moon of Nal Hutta. She's like, yeah. There was another moment where a guy asked what Purrgil were, and no one answered. I'm like, they're large spacefaring creatures capable of hyperspace travel.
Smacks him upside the head. Seriously.
Well, no, the guy asking knew it. He was giving us a tour of the ship, and it's a Purrgil class cruiser. So he's like, does anyone here know what a Purrgil is? He wasn't like being an idiot, obviously. And the girl from Nal Hutta wasn't asking where Nal Hutta was because she was confused about where her home planet was. She's asking, like, now does anyone know where Nal Hutta is?
I guess I assumed that said person asking question was a visitor.
No. I'm answering questions that people on the crew are asking to other visitors that visitors do not know. There was not a question that came up that I did not know the answer to, which I was happy with. I think the only lore discrepancy I noticed was we had a map of the galaxy in our room. And on the map of the galaxy, when we were around Coruscant, one of the other planets nearby, it said was an axis. And I was like, well, that means Anaxes is in the core, which, you know, was always the case in Legends. Anaxes was in the core. But then they had a line in the Clone Wars Season 7 where Anakin talks about how, you know, they're pushing back the Outer Rim campaign while they're on Anaxes. And so the Lucasfilm Story Group pushed Anaxes all the way to the Outer Rim. And on the most recent map, Anaxes was moved to the Outer Rim.
It moved back.
Even on Wikipedia, it says, like, the planet was moved to the Outer Rim due to the Clone Wars Season 7 line. It says, most recently, on a map found in the Galactic Star Cruiser, Anaxes was moved back to the Inner Rim. So there is some confusion as to which one of those is canon. The one on my map that I made went off the Outer Rim placement. We got to see the hyperspace rings, or the rings around Coruscant that ships pass through. I did get pictures of Coruscant from the bridge, kind of zoomed in. I didn't get any super close-up pictures, but it was cool to see over Coruscant. Yeah, we went to a lot more planets than I thought we were going to. I thought the cruise was just like, you go straight to Batuu and then back. Here's Lieutenant Croy and the little girl.
What's the general, like, ambience audibly? Do you hear, like, the ship's engines, or...?
Yeah, there's music playing. Obviously, you're on a luxury Starliner, so there's always, you know, the whole thing involves every sense. You know, you're in an environment. Obviously, the Imagineers who made this place would be like, okay, what does this area smell like? What does this area sound like? So, like, different places smell differently. There was different sounds in different places. Elevators had elevator music. I mean, yeah, you could hear some. Jumping to hyperspace was cool, especially if the thing is, you jump to hyperspace, but if you're in your room when you jump to hyperspace, you can still see the hyperspace tunnel from your room window, right? Like, no matter what window you're looking at. So I actually have a video. Yeah, I have a video where we just unexpectedly, Michaela and I were just talking, and then out the window we just see that we had jumped to hyperspace. So, like, if we were on the bridge when that happened, we would have heard them talk about how, like, okay, we're gonna jump to such and such, but since we were in our room, and that's just the sort of, like, dynamic stuff that happens. Like, if you're playing a video game, and a scripted event happens, but you're far away from it, like, you can still see the effects of it. It was just super immersive, because, like, that would have kind of broken it if, like, we were in our room the whole time, and then we find out from someone like, oh yeah, we jumped to hyperspace while you're in your room. I would have been like, why didn't I see that out? Yeah, why didn't I see that out the window? That doesn't make any sense. And yeah, it's hard to see. I did try to take a video of the windows from different angles to show how the parallax technology worked. But anytime you see a picture of us, especially on the bridge, where, like, I'm on the far right of the bridge and taking a picture of something on the far left, or vice versa, like, you can't do that with normal, like, screen technology. They have some sort of, like...
Oh, wait, yeah, I'm looking at a video now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right as you said that, you pulled one up, so... What are all these, like... Are these other cruisers? Just like, what are they trade ships?
It depends on the planet.
I guess
if
so.
we're over Chandrilla, there's a lot of traffic. If we're over Batuu, there's a lot of traffic.
It's a very Earth-like looking planet.
Which video are you on? It's probably Chandrilla.
It's probably Chandrilla.
Chandrilla, we were, like, over, like, you could, like, the whole thing took up the whole front of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But Batuu also looks Earth-like. Is the video early on in the album, or?
Oh Lord.
Is it a 17-second long video?
Yes, that is the one.
Okay, that is Chandrilla that we're over.
Okay.
Is that, yeah? I'm glad I got that video. That is just beautiful. You can just see all the ships outside. Yeah, that's the bridge that I'm on there. But if you look at the picture before that. Okay, you see that picture where Michaela's taking a picture of me, and she's looking far to the left?
Yeah.
You see that cruiser? How it's not, like, warped or anything? It just looks like it's there. Like, it looks like the screen is flat with where Michaela is looking, even though she's technically at a very extreme angle to the screen.
Sorry, where's this picture?
It's the one directly in front of the 17-second video.
It's kind kind of jumbled up, I think.
It'll be a picture of me on the bridge.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So what about it?
Yeah. You see the ship outside, right?
Yeah.
You see how it's like not warped or like in any way. It's not like stretched.
Yeah, that is.
It looks like the screen is flat with Michaela's perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though the view screen, like the windshield of the ship, is at an extreme angle, what's outside the ship looks like it's correct.
Yeah.
And that's the case no matter where you look. Like, you would look around stuff. I could have, like, peered under the ship and seen, like, the planet, more of the planet. So that's what really makes it feel more like a window and less like just a video screen. Like, if you pull far back, like some of these pictures of us standing further back in the bridge, you see more of the planet because that is just how line of sight works.
So, at risk of potentially ruining the magic, how do you think they do that?
I noticed that in certain pictures, there would be like a streak, like a line streak. Let me see if I can find one. This doesn't really, I can't really say how they're doing it, but it is an artifact that that can like show that it's something to do with light. Let me find, it usually happens
run on
for, like,
some form of electricity.
Yes. Let me see if I can find one. I took lots of... Anytime there was something new outside of our window, I was taking a picture. Also, let me see. Here's a video of us. I just started recording right after we jumped to hyperspace. Oh, it says error 401 not found. Maybe
it's so pretty, man.
Create link.
Yeah, you sent the message.
I did because it was a false start. Yeah, here's. No, it still says error not found.
Ow.
But when I click on it, it works. Yeah, just click on it.
Okay.
So yeah, we had been in hyperspace, and I managed to pull my phone out.
I click on it, and it says error 404 not found.
Does it?
Yeah. Here, sorry. Are you showing me a video or a picture?
It's a video.
Oh, damn it. Oh shoot! Hold on. I gotta get moving. The seeker just came out of nowhere.
Create link. Creating link. Copy. Okay, it's a shared link. Copy. Now I say paste. Okay, this one might work. Yeah, this one worked. Okay. I miscopied it last time.
Well, I do see a preview.
Yep.
So, okay, you're leaving our app. Yes. Let me see. So this is a video about the hyperspace.
Yeah, this is... We had been in hyperspace, and I pulled my phone out really quick and tried to get a video.
What? That looks just like it does in the movies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about hyperspace, like you see it in Star Wars, is just the surrealist look of like things coming into view in an instant. And even if you're on the ship,
those start, like, small, like you're going to scoop.
Yeah, but it's so fast though. Like you see, like the planet is just like, and it just like stops. Like it's just like stops, you know. And so like when you're seeing something come out of hyperspace in Star Wars, you know, you're just like, I mean, it's in other sci-fi franchises as well. But I mean, like, I think of Star Wars. Maybe. Yeah. But like you're just like looking at dead space, and then suddenly just something exists there. It's always just so cool looking. It's just
yeah.
Like,
well, that's again why I want to see the Death Star, like a large planetoid. Oh my god, it was super cool in the new Star Wars Outlaws trailer with the Star Destroyer coming out of hyperspace and then actually hitting the. Like one of the ships just crashes into it and explodes.
Yeah.
The ship's just like, we're gonna go this way.
And then it's like, lot.
Oh, there's a wall there. At some point in this photo album, too, there's our private photo session, which was $400 for a 30-minute session where they got 65 pictures, but they're professional photography.
Who are you getting pics with?
Was absolutely worth it.
Are you getting pics with someone, or are you getting pics like just of yourself?
Of ourselves. I'll show you the pics in a second. This, though, is one of the pictures where I noticed an artifact in the picture of the outdoor screens. 1 second. can see that kind of like light streak. There it is. You can see it on the ship's engine and the moon there.
Wait, what is it?
The picture I just sent, I'm showing you where I noticed in certain pictures a image artifact from the screens where you would notice like a streak of light.
Oh.
And if
yeah.
you look at the moon and the ship's engines, so like they look correct. They, they're not warped or anything. But I'm wondering if there's like some lenses or something that are like bending the light, and so it looks, it might create streaks like that.
Huh.
That's the only thing where like I noticed some artifact that might indicate the kind of technology behind the scenes. But other than that, I don't know how they're doing it. Again, if there was a Defunct Land video, I imagine that would be one of the things they would go over. But again, that's the thing, is a Defunct Land video would mostly just be like a making of, like, here's how this place worked. There's not really much to say about why it's closing. It's just assumably a tax write-off reason. Also, I think I got a video of it, but there was a storm going on Bespin, and it looked awesome when we were in orbit.
Nice.
I see all these pictures I took of us in orbit over Bespin, but I don't see a video, so maybe I didn't.
Halcyon Fluke. Is this a wine?
Where do you see that?
It's
was it inside of the bottle?
Yeah.
Like it's red wine?
Yeah.
Okay, that was outside of the Sublight Lounge, which was the bar there. That was the bottle that, you know how when you christen a ship, you break a wine bottle on it?
Yeah.
So the Anzellan that built this ship went to go do that, to break a bottle of wine over the hull, and since he's so small, when he went to do that, it hit the hull and then bounced back and threw him backwards, and the bottle didn't shatter. And while a bunch of people took that to be an end of bad luck, that, oh, this ship is going to be cursed, he took it to be an indication of how strong the design that he created had been, and he was so proud of it that he kept the bottle and put it on the ship as a sign of how durable the ship was. So that's the original bottle that was supposed to have been broken over the hull. We learned that on our guided tour. I haven't actually translated the Arabish on the side yet. Also, there's 13 engines on the back, because 13 was the Anzellan's favorite number, and he considered it to be his lucky number. But also the arrangement that they're in gives it very fast sublight speeds. So other ships have actually copied that engine arrangement.
How do the meals work? Like, what's the process for...
Well, it's like a cruise. Everything's already paid. So the lunch and breakfast is done buffet style. So you go in and you get trays of food through the kitchen, and you'll get a selection of food that you can just put on a tray and eat from there. Each dinner, though, had a different, a different thing going on. Each dinner was multi-course, pre-arranged. You don't get a menu. You don't get to pick what it is. The first night's dinner was a dinner show, so we're having a multi-course dinner being provided with live performance by Gaia. And then the second night's dinner was the tour around the galaxy, where it was a multi-course dinner where each dish was a sample of the culinary, the kind of foods that they eat on different worlds.
Okay.
So each one had a different. The first one was more like you're listening to music. There's a lot of high energy to it, and the second was much more like a very refined, like here's the tour of the senses sort of experience.
How do they get around if someone has an allergy?
They ask you if you have any food allergies. Obviously, it's all very. It's the best service in the world. So like you can't be like, I got you there. I can't eat crabs.
Didn't even tell you that it was crab.
Like even the silverware they had, like if you look at pictures of like the knives and forks, they have them in like a very particular arrangement where they're offset to match the Halcyon's logo of the two lines that are offset. Also, the Halcyon logo we found out is based on an astrolabe that they had outside of the Crown of Corellia, the Sheila Collection gift shop. They have a very old-style astrolabe, which is how, they used to navigate, or better sensor technologies. And, well, they do not need this astrolabe to navigate any longer. The ship's logo comes from, if you stand at just the right angle and line up, like, the lenses of the astrolabes, you get that logo with the 2 lines and the circles. And I got pictures somewhere of it, but it was a very, like this.
Fancy.
See? Yeah. So they actually had a lore reason for why the logo looks like that.
This food looks good.
The food was.
What's this purple squishy square?
If you're looking at the second dinner night, that might have been on the Mustafar plate. There was purple bread and a amazing cheese sauce. It's like the lighting red. It's like a bowl of cheese on the left of the plate.
I see. It's got a tray. It's got a tray with a spongy looking piece of bread over a dark syrupy liquid, and then below it.
Oh, maybe that's not the picture.
Below it is the squishy purple square. Yeah, no, not quite this, but this looks good.
Okay. That was the Mustafar appetizer. Is it on like a white tray? Because that would have been one of our
tray.
Okay.
Like a light blue milk.
Yeah, that is blue milk. Let me see. Oh, I see. Yeah, that was like a I don't know, like a fruity, like a mousse almost. It wasn't. It's not like gelatin. Like it had like a harder interior. And then yeah, that's blue milk. That was Michaela's plate at lunch, and the one on the left is my plate. I got my drink is calf, which is why it looks like
Elvali won't stay still long enough to have a drink with me.
And God, those colorful chandeliers, like they really pop in all the pictures in the dining room. And it could change color. It was gorgeous. But yeah, I love the ease of just the buffet style stuff. The trays had I don't know if you can see in the pictures, but they've got like certain slots. Like you can see each piece of food is either the size of 1 or 2 squares, right?
Yeah.
And your tray can hold 6 squares. So you can, you do the math. It's like you can get like 1 big thing and 4 small things, or 2 big things and 2 small things. And they all just click into the tray like that.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Old Israel.
It's like 4 pictures of you drinking blue milk. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same sip.
Is it?
It's like 4 pictures of you drinking blue milk.
Yeah, Michaela took rapid. It's blue milk though. It's classic. I need to find the picture. So there was a first day for they have a Outer Rim Regalia, which is kind of like a fashion show, whereas if you're very proud of your outfit, you can walk down the runway and show it off and get pictures. There was a guy there dressed as Emperor Palpatine. Very good, like makeup, hands, doing an impersonation.
It's the Emperor. How do people react to that?
Yeah, obviously it's just a guy dressed as the Emperor. But it's
the First Order is like, that's offensive.
No, I mean that guy just wasn't taking it seriously. There were I think that was probably the only group who were like
more like Comic Con at that point.
Our prequel meme guys, but I mean, they didn't ruin it for everyone else. It just seemed like they were just kind of there to do their joke of like, I'm Palpatine. But we were leaving lightsaber training, and I just saw him. He was just sitting in a dark alley right outside of the door, where it was just like for cargo hold. And he just looks at me. I got the picture after our exchange, but like you could tell he like startled me, and he just does this little smile. And I just get this picture of Palpatine just sitting there in this alley. He just looks so smug. And he even did like a hello.
He's just like giggling. It's like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead.
It was great. It was also great because that's after we were on the tour where they talked about that Palpatine had been on the ship. Or reports. There were, reports that when the Empire had control of the ship that Palpatine had stayed there once, and so people say if you feel a cold chill in your room that's him still haunting the ship.
Oh yeah, and he's like, stop telling people I'm dead.
I'm dead. But yeah, they had a whole thing of like where the ship throughout history, like it had been, it was an Old Republic ship, and then the Empire took it over and stripped a lot of its Old Republic decadency around and made it more like industrial and harsh, and it became like a pleasure cruise ship for high-ranking Imperials, like Moffs and stuff. And then the Hutts got control of it, and they were trying to like recoup costs on something, and they turned it into like a huge gambling ship, which is why there's a hollow sabacc table. That's the only remnants of when the Hutt clan had control of it. They left it in one hollow sabacc table. And then eventually, after the fall of the Empire, a family of Anzellans related to the original Anzellan that built it got re-control of the ship and decided to, in honor of its original legacy, retrofit it to look exactly like it did originally, and have it operate how it did, 275 years ago, when it first was a pleasure cruise ship.
Isn't it kind of outdated at this point?
Well, yeah, they refurbished it. It's kind of like those historic ships, like I'm gonna go, people do cruises like that.
Yeah.
Historic ships. It has real world inspiration for stuff like that. So they recently retrofitted it to look in its old High Republic style of its glory days before the Empire. And that's where it stands when we went on to it. But because of so many different factions having control over it over the years, you would see like little things, and they'd point out like, like this, the ceilings look this way because that's when the Empire stripped out the original ceilings, and we haven't gotten around to, putting back in the older style. So you would see just like little theming elements, and it's why the bar looks different than other areas of the ship because it still has elements from when the Hutt cartel had control of it.
How crowded was it?
Not at all. It was. You can see pictures of like the atrium, and it's like it's.
Yeah.
There's enough people going through to where you feel like I am on a cruise with other people, but there's at no point was I like there's 500 people on this ship.
It doesn't
I don't know
feel
if there
like
were
a theme park amount of people, which is totally different than
no,
like a cruise
and
amount of people.
that's how it's controlled, and you can even see in the dining room like it's there's enough people to make the experience feel like you're not like, oh, this place is a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do, and this is one of the reasons why the Imagineers had the genius idea to theme this like a cruise ship, because when they were, like, I think I told you earlier, they had been planning something like this from before Disney even owning Star Wars. They wanted to do a immersive, long-form Star Wars experience that they were going to try to work with Lucasfilm on. And when they owned the franchise, they were like, now's our time to do it. So even before they owned Star Wars, they've been working on this concept, and they didn't quite know what a long-form experience looked like until one of the Imagineers, she had the idea of, well, if we're going to take a bunch of people and like lock them into an enclosed, self-contained experience, and it's going to be like a vacation where we're trying to like get them to go from thing to thing, she's like, that sounds just like a cruise itinerary. And she's like, why don't we make this like they're going on a cruise in Star Wars, and then we can just use that kind of format. If people cruise a lot, they're already going to be used to this kind of a setting. So like they'll kind of, you get the gist just by hearing about, oh, it's a cruise. So like all the food will be paid for. There's going to be like rotational dining, and that just takes a lot of the having to explain what it is to people out of the equation. So the cruise setup allows them to break the crowds up by having different groups scheduled to do different things at different times. So while we're eating, we had second seating dinner. So there would be groups eating while we were going around and doing stuff. And then when we were eating, other groups were then going around and doing stuff. And by breaking it up like that, you're never like, there's only during the was everyone in the atrium at the same time. And at that point, even then, it didn't feel like you're like super crowded, like you're shoulder to shoulder. There was still room to kind of move about. But that was the only point where you got to see exactly how many people were on the ship at one time. Other than that, so many of the people are off doing so many things that it's broken up so that there's never like a room that just feels super congested. More often than not, probably about like 70% of the time, you could walk onto the ship's bridge and there would be no one else in there. Like you could get all the pictures you wanted in the control room. The atrium was usually pretty relaxed because most people only go to the atrium to kind of jump from thing to thing. So you could kind of lounge in the atrium and relax. A lot of people were worried because now all the cruises are sold out, and they're like, oh, these sold out cruises are going to be a mess because like they're at full capacity. It never felt like it was at full capacity. Everything, it never felt like the service was being strained to accommodate that many people. You still felt like you were the center of attention, like every crew member would service you with 110%. Even though there's a ton of other people that they're also serving with the exact same quality of service.
What's with the leaf wall?
That's the climate simulator, which is the one part of the ship where you actually get to quote-unquote go outside. So they added that for people that might be claustrophobic from being enclosed for so long. What it does is it simulates the environment on the port of call that the ship is going to. And so it's kind of like a nice garden area. It has, it's an open ceiling. It's supposed to be a simulated ceiling, but it allows you to get fresh air, and each panel of wall has plants, a selection of plants from different planets that the ship has gone to. So there was like a wall from plants of Naboo, there was one of Toydaria.
Oh.
I got pictures of all the plaques, but yeah, they had 4 or 6 different selections of botany from different plants. The Sajas will go in there and stack rocks as like a forced meditation exercise, so you'll see stacks of rocks that you can do. Apparently there's an experience you can catch with the Saja where they'll ask you to like try to connect to the Force and lift the rocks with your mind, and the rocks will actually levitate. We did not get to do that, but I heard about it from other people. I'd like to see video of that now that I can kind of spoil other things. There is a ton of other story stuff that like I want to hold off until I can show you videos and explain like exactly what was going on story-wise, just because it was very seamless, immersive theater movie level storytelling. Like it's a scene from the movie that you get to also LARP in. And just there was so much like connection to like it wasn't just like the basic planets like, oh, we're gonna reference Tatooine 1,000 times. Our tour guide, one of the Sajas was our tour guide, and he talked about his homeworld from Bracca. There was actually a couple servers in dinner that we saw that were from Kajimi. And like their backstories. I was talking to one of the guest services, and he was asking me what I did for work, and I was talking how I provide security for our ship, and for Michaela as the pilot. And apparently his previous job, he did security on Coruscant. And I was like, oh, what level? And he was like, level 2,700 something. And I was like, where does that sit in the strata? And he's like, it's pretty deep. And so he did like underworld level security for Coruscant. Our server at dinner, Lulu, she was also from Coruscant. But yeah, you can just press people at that. Like he knew exactly right. He didn't like. You couldn't tell like the gears in his head were turning, and he was having to make up a level. I said like, oh, what level? And he was like, level 2,000 so and so. Like you could tell that's what he already.
He's like, level?
Yeah,
What do you mean level?
Coruscant's the city planet, right? No, it was like I was talking to a dude from Coruscant. and that was just one of the crew members behind customer service counter. Like, I could have pressed him on anything about Coruscant and felt like I could have gotten answers. And that's sort of the exciting aspect to it. Like, that you feel like you could just, like, delve as deep into stuff role-playing wise as possible and, like, not hit the bottom. Like, people would ask Gaia about the lyrics of her songs, like, that she's singing in Twilight or Huttese, and she would have answers, like, oh, you know, these lyrics are when I'm talking about such and such. And it's like, you just expect it to just be nonsense lyrics, and that she wouldn't know exactly what she's singing about, but it's like, there's, you know, no one's just gonna shrug and say, oh, I don't know.
I don't know. You would understand. You don't know how to speak this.
Yeah, you can't. They don't come up with like excuses where they're like, it's Huttese. You know, there's no perfect basic translation for it. You know, because they anticipate people asking stuff like that. Also, I found a similar dish to that purple square that was on our lunch plate that Michaela had actually broken into, and I got a picture of it, so you can actually do what the interior of that dessert looks like. It's just a larger.
It's interesting that they gave you a bed and 2 bunks.
Each room sleeps up to 5 people, so you can put like 3 in the bed, 2 in the bunks. So that's why we had a bed and 2 bunks, because the cabins are. There's 3 kinds of cabins. There are bigger cabins that sleep more people. Yeah, it was a very fruity. That you can kind of guess the texture just from the picture, but it was very good. And like those little. Like, the little yellow stuff was, like, a different texture than that clear one on the left. The clear one on the left was, like, gelatin. It was definitely a ton of textures of the different foods. Like, that one plate alone has, like, 8 different textures on it. But yeah, the first night, we slept in the big bed, and the second night, we slept in the wall cabin beds, because one of my dreams has always been to sleep in one of the wall beds in Star Wars. I've always loved those little recessed wall beds with like the little panels, little plush-looking panels that go all the way over it. Oh, one of the whole reasons we went, actually.
Just to sleep in a bunk bed.
To sleep in one of the Star Wars beds. Let me see if I can find the photo session photos, because these were insane. Let's see, it was after our Batuu excursion.
Let's see, I'm seeing some guy the guy next to the Palpatine guy, who does look like he's putting a lot of dedication into it. But there's this guy that dresses like an Imperial officer with him, kind of like a Krennic.
He was
thing
dressed
going
as
on.
Krennic.
Yeah,
he was dressed as Krennic because we found out when we did the fashion show, they asked him who he was dressed as, and he said Director Krennic.
He's definitely got that vibe of the cape.
Yeah, his hair is a little different than Krennic's, but
more Imperials should have gone with that look.
Yeah, there were a bunch of. I think there was a couple older gentlemen dressed as First Order officers. Or ex-Imperials, and they just straight up looked like Moffs from the film. Like, there was an old bald guy with, like, a gray mustache that looked tall and skinny, and, like, you could see him at a control table. I think he actually was playing an ex-Imperial, and he did help the First Order, because the Lieutenant Croy gave him a shout-out during the speech, and he was like, you dedicate, like, you serve the First Order with just as much valor as you did the Empire. What, Michaela? Yeah, Michaela just remembered his Jane.
Is this guy taking on a stormtrooper?
Yeah, that guy was dressed as Calio. Did you see the staring contest?
Yeah, staring contest.
The guy, yeah, he was. I just heard him trying to mind trick the stormtrooper, just saying like, "I'm your boss, I'm your boss." But Michaela says it looked like he was dressed as Kylo. Might have been trying to make the stormtrooper think he was Kylo Ren.
Do you like the First Order officers have like British accents?
Lieutenant Croy had the most First Order accent imaginable. I cannot tell if he was faking it. His demeanor was quintessential to like selling him as a character, and just his utter his demeanor was very different than any other First Order officer or lieutenant I've ever seen, because like you could tell he actually cared about people, and like he let the captain know that he like respects them even though they're a Pantoran, and he legitimately like believes in the First Order cause and doesn't want to, you know, like there was an actual ideological debate between him and the captain on our second night of dinner, where he doesn't like scream or lose his temper. He just sits there and lays out. They have like a philosophical debate about the tenets of the First Order versus letting the galaxy just kind of try to figure itself out.
This is post,
and you can tell like, okay, this guy
post Hosian catastrophe. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I mean the points were made about what the First Order does to planets.
Yeah,
and you know he had reasons, but what I was impressed with the writing is like this is what in the sequel trilogy is, you know, just kind of Hux yelling at people. Like this experience gets like the writers get to be like, okay, well, what if we had like Andor level writing but for the First Order? Because it was like a lot of speeches and talking, and so it was very dialogue heavy, and none of it came off as just like cliched lines. Again, I'll show you videos.
Is he the
later.
guy dressed all in black, the captain or the Imperial officer? First Order.
Lieutenant Croy?
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of him with the little girl on the bench. The picture underneath the proposal.
Because at the same time, I'm going through the pictures that you're sending me via your chat, and also I'm looking through the folder.
That's the chat.
Folder.
In the chat pictures.
Yeah.
If you go up to the proposal pictures, go down one.
Okay, let me just.
I can just send it to you again. Yeah, let me send it to you again.
Because I'm trying to pull up 2 different folders here.
Okay, I've sent you the picture. I'll just send you the stuff I'm talking about. I have better pictures of him. That was just one that you had immediate access to. I didn't actually have a chance to get a picture with him, even though we sat with him at dinner. I have videos where he's like across the table from us.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about.
Yeah, that's Lieutenant Croy, Lieutenant Harmon Croy, to be more precise.
I guess I can't talk about if there's any twists and turns of dramatic, because I mean I am streaming this. Then again, it won't matter for too much longer. But
yeah, I don't want to. Well, that's another thing is I also don't want to talk about story specific things, how like finales played out.
Yeah.
Everyone had a different story, so like our branch of the tree was different, but I'll go over that when I can show you videos. This was him trying to talk to the droid, SK. The droid was very important to the story, but yes, he was trying to be very polite. He was like shaking his hand. He's like, I don't speak binary, but he's not like me. He's not like kicking things around and like losing his temper at stuff. He was a very different vibe. Here's him with the captain, actually. I did hear other people say that they had Lieutenant Croy's on their voyage, who actually was like, you could tell he was sneering at Gaia because she was a Twi'lek.
Maybe they read him differently.
But we didn't get that vibe from this guy at all. He straight up like let people know that he respected Gaia, even maybe. But like Gaia was ribbing him at our table all throughout dinner. And like he still let everyone know, like when Gaia was leaving, like Gaia had no part in any of this, you know, in any of the resistance. I mean, she did. He just didn't know about it. But I even talked to him a bit about like her performance, and he's like, she's quite good. Like he was very impressed with the music, even though he didn't quite like all the songs. Ulashuka, the First Order apparently does not like being sung, though I don't know the lyrics. So I'm not quite sure why he had an issue with that song, but I'd have to look up what exactly she was singing. I just remember, I have the video of the whole dinner performance, but she was announcing she was going to do Ulashuka, and he's like, that is not First Order approved.
Huh. It's like a rebellion song.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the whole thing's in, I believe, it's either in Twi'lek or Huttese. And it is our photos, a selection of our photos from our private photo shoot, where they had a lighting guy, very professional cameras, the guy posing us, coming up with different ideas for shots, was indeed worth every penny. So some of the shots are like, he tried to like make us do like scenes, like we were being caught in the middle of doing things, when other shots were, you know, just like actual.
Huh. Yeah, this is pretty good.
Smile for the camera.
Yeah, you look. It's like an ad. You look
yes,
like
there's
you
like
should
us
be in a
going to
brochure.
hyperspeed. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, these are, yeah, probably the guys that would be taking pictures for the brochures.
Yeah, this looks. These just look like. I mean, it looks like that they would use this. I mean, the lighting's great. The angle is dynamic. Look at the one where you guys look at the map.
Wait till you see some of the other ones.
I've never been in here before, guys. Like, this is my first time.
They also touched them up professionally. It actually took them a few days. I just now got these back today because they sent them off to be professionally touched up.
Wow. These look like pictures that you could use as like the wiki page for your character. It's sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was really happy about. Is that
the
it looks
lightsaber
like
looks really good.
Yeah. Just how good the lightsabers look in pictures. They it looks like white with then the glow on your face. So yeah, it was just 30 minutes of us going around the whole ship. There was, like, they would let us take any shots we wanted, and then the rest of them we just kind of deferred to their suggestions for shots. And again, we did get 65, but I'm just showing
65.
65. I mean, again, it was for 30 minutes. We just were out. And it was an additional fee too, so it was nice that they took as many as they did. But everyone always says it's worth it to try to schedule the private photo sessions. This last one might actually be my favorite.
Hey, what kind of cameras are they using?
Again, it's probably the same professional cameras that they use for like promotional shots. They had a lighting guy there too. That's why some of the backgrounds of different shots are different colors. Like that pink behind Michaela, there was a guy standing around the corners, and they set the light to pink, and they like changed the intensity depending on the shot. Yeah. So he would stand there and make sure the light on our faces was, you know, at the right, you know, luminosity. Then we also got pictures taken by photographers on the 2. Not as a private photo session, just, you know, people standing at certain spots for photos.
I will consume every word.
Which are still really good. The cameras are still better than, like, your cell phone camera.
This knowledge shields me from your feeble attacks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they'll add effects to it, like this, the X-Wings.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And then we did another session out in front of the Millennium Falcon. Let's see if I can find it. Here they are.
Nice.
Yeah, there's still a few more of those ones.
My ping is really bad all of a sudden.
Let's see. My Wi-Fi is going up and down. It just went down, so maybe
Yeah, I'm back at 50.
Okay.
The BB-8.
Yeah.
Is he digitally added?
He's digitally added.
Huh.
We were. There was a red mark on the floor, and we were told to look at it, thumbs up, not knowing what would actually be there.
Hmm. You guys are doing like Doctor Who poster poses here.
They're not that cheap.
No, it's not. Poses can't be cheap. Oh boy.
When I hear Doctor Who, your ping.
Ping, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Bad, 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 bad. Really, really bad.
Well, I'm not downloading or uploading. Let me check. Yeah, I'm not downloading anything.
It's... I'm gonna end up dying.
My Wi-Fi is spiking occasionally.
I am literally probably not actually here. It is so bad all of a sudden. That's not what I asked you to do. Looks like it's going down. Let's see if the next refresh is... Okay, it's back to normal.
Oh, but yeah, final night. They had an encore performance by Sanjo, who was the Miri Allen, who was trying to get Gaia's attention. He actually got contracted by her manager. He had a whole separate side story, but so they gave a performance at the very end. And we had a dessert party in the Crown of Corellia dining area. Then after that, everyone just kind of went back to their rooms for the night, and the only people left in that room was Michaela, a girl that we had bumped into a whole bunch of times throughout the trip, and another girl who I could tell had been super into this. She was there with her dad, and I had kind of bumped into her once or twice and kind of just overheard her character story and everything. And so I kind of guided us over to the table that they were sitting at and sat down with our desserts and got talking with them. And eventually pretty much everyone went to bed, and it was just us there after everything ended at 11, talking and having our dessert party and just kind of getting out of character and just kind of recounting our experiences on the ship and talking about what our character backstories were and the kind of journeys we had gone through on the ship. Went out into the lobbies, still basically the last one up. So the only other people still on the ship were in the bar drinking. There was a handful, maybe a few groups doing late night drinking, but it was just us, Michaela and I, another girl, and then another girl and her dad, just walking around the lobby, geeking out over Star Wars and the Star Cruiser, and we just stayed up for hours, just taking pictures of the lobby, talking about our time on the ship and about our lives and Star Wars and stuff. Like, these people were also, like, these girls were, like, super into Clone Wars and the same sort of stuff Michaela was into. There was another guy that, after he left the bar, came out, and we had bumped into him a few times. He was always super curious. The whole group he was with was... he got talking with us. It had been his 4th time on the Star Cruiser. He was like crying about like what this meant to him. He talked about how his dad first took him to see Star Wars in '77 when it first came out, and how meaningful it's been to him to actually get to live in the world, and how this was his last night of his last trip, and how he would never get to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to basically tell him that even though it was my first trip, like, I felt the same way. I'd just be sitting in my bed looking up at the ceiling, just being like, I'm about to go to bed, but I'm also in Star Wars about to go to bed.
I'm about to go to bed in Star Wars now.
Yeah, he was like, it was hard to see how attached he was to the experience. That's how it felt. Like, you're just looking up at the ceiling, you're like, I'm about to go to bed in the same universe where, like, the Clone Wars happened. Like, I could leave my room and go down to guest services and start talking to them about the Clone Wars, and they would respond as if they knew of the Clone Wars from their history classes. I actually have a picture of him somewhere. He was there with either his girlfriend or his wife, and a couple of other guys. Anytime they entered a room, I was telling them that I could tell when they were behind me, because, like, the charisma level would, like, go up by 50%.
My senses.
They were always fun to have around. Yeah, again, just there were people in this trip that, like, everyone knew, or, like, if it wasn't everyone knew, like, we got to regularly kind of see and get a vibe for.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is suffering.
I know I got a picture of him with SK the droid. He really liked the droid. He was in the fashion a long time to load. No, it's not. I don't think it's anything I'm doing, though.
But you're taking the lag, right?
Let's see. Where is that picture? I am, yeah.
It's really bad. Give me a
I'll
second.
click on pictures and they'll take a while to
Maybe
load.
it's...
I'm gonna find the picture of him because he went down the aisle fashion show.
I'm gonna check my Steam really quick.
I'm on. I have my task manager up. And the Wi-Fi is not doing anything great. It's really low. It actually says I cannot access my photo pass on Disney Gallery. The Wi-Fi's so bad. Our call's fine.
Kind of, you're breaking up a bit.
Right? You can still hear me, right?
You're breaking up a bit, but...
Hello? Okay, it was like...
Okay,
what
so
a horrible time for me to talk about how great our call was.
You're getting really delayed
hear
responses, by the way. I can hear you, though.
Ah. I can hear you, too.
Like... This is probably... You're probably not going to hear this until later. I don't know.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Maybe you're getting the delayed responses. Oh, unless I am getting the delayed responses. But I'm thinking you're talking in real time. That makes more sense.
For example, say something, and I will say, I hear you, right after you say something. Directly right after you say something. Let's see how long it takes.
Something.
I hear you.
That was a couple seconds.
It's still too long. I mean, like, for a Discord call, it's just way too long. Something's up.
Yeah, maybe it's stable. Something's up.
My stream could end up cutting into VODs if it keeps doing this.
I was going to show you the final thing. The guy on the left wearing the Podama jacket was the guy that we had bumped into him on the cruise several times, but this was them during the fashion show, and then I talked with him a bit on the final night. He looks way younger than someone that was born to see Star Wars when they were a kid.
But it says send a photo. This is horrible. That's not just my computer though. It's literally not loading this photo. Okay. I got it.
You should have it now. Yeah.
Okay,
he's the guy on the left in the flight jacket. Now, he was with this other guy and his wife. When he left, when we met him in the atrium on the final night after he left the bar, it was just him and his wife. And they were both, like, very upset. They always had drinks like that in their hands. It was very entertaining to watch. But yeah, it was just super sad to hear about how often, like, this being their fourth time, but also their final time. Because, like, you could tell, like, he probably would keep going.
I think a lot of people would.
Like, multiple times a year. Yeah. I mean, we would. Like, I would. I know I call it a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but having gone again, it's like, I could definitely see us after a couple of years being like, I want to go back to the house, God. Like, this is enough of not being there.
Look, man.
And I'm not really into high-stakes games of cards.
Well, it's reconnected. Not very well, though.
Yeah, I'm having. Oh, no, I played that video pretty much right off the bat.
The lowest it goes is 233. Bitrate is not happy with me.
Oh.
What did you
Michaela. I just caught why everyone in the dance room instantly knew the choreography to that one dance during Rockstar Queen. Because that's the Rylos slide that they had lessons for in the atrium at 7:30 before dinner. Okay, I wondered, I was shocked. It was like one of those dance scenes in High School Musical where everyone knows the choreography, and I was like, how is everyone this in sync right off the bat? Like, I'm just
Skill
trying to like
issue.
catch up to this.
Skill issue, get better. Get better.
Okay, because it clicked in my head that the song she was singing was Rockstar Queen, and I'm looking at our itinerary now, and it says, learn the Ryloth Slide, the new dance that has the galaxy moving to Gaia's hit song, Rockstar Queen. And I'm like, that's the slide they were doing while she was singing Rockstar Queen. They were formally trained, not the 30 minutes before.
Okay. Yeah.
You did. I thought like that's one of the things that felt like a dissociative moment these other people have. Like my wife also is in sync with, and everyone's like, "Don't you know the Ryloth Slide?" Everyone is born knowing the Ryloth Slide. Yes, it was Just Dance 2 Ryloth edition. Man, we got so much nice. They had a tin on our bed that just had like high quality like face masks, like not like costume masks, like luxury bath equipment stuff. It was nice. You get a lot of nice complimentary. Yeah, said don't take so. Oh, this is, yeah, this is a picture of that guy again with his. I assume it's his wife. It might just be his partner that he was with. Yeah, the guy might have been like his brother or something, but I think the lady was a direct partner. I don't know, maybe